Yes, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing today, all of you? My name is F. Mobin. Farhad Mobor Afghanka, as you can call me. I'm a beginning movie director and, of course, a rapper. Wow. Yeah, I don't really rap so much anymore. Maybe I'll make a new song soon, but listen, what I want to tell you today, I'm talking, well, it's very late. Yeah, I had no time today to make this video in this podcast. Welcome at my podcast of my first movie. I'm gonna discuss my childhood movie, James Bond 007 Die Another Day. As you can see, the movie poster, this is still the movie poster that I remember as a child. I was 9 years old. 9 years old when I saw this movie on the videotape. I still remember it. It was 2005. This movie came made in 2001. The movie itself was directed by Lita Maori. You can see him here. He's one of the best directors every time of course, of Hollywood. And he was also the director who made Triple X State of the Union. I want to talk with you about this movie. What I think, why it is my favorite James Bond movie of all time. My friend who I was today, he really doesn't like the movie, but yeah. Why I'm talking about this movie is because this was my childhood and my first action movie that I ever saw on videotape. Also, because this movie is so fucking fantastic. It's my favorite James Bond movie, of course. You know, people can give critics, of course, of what they think about this movie because it's not maybe the best James Bond movie, but for me, it's my favorite movie ever. Why? I'm telling you. I saw behind the scenes some months ago. They did such an incredible production job work and spent so much money in the increase of their budget to make this movie alive. It's a lot, you know. So for me, I really like this movie because it shows so fucking great special effects, action. I remember as a child, I saw many of the scenes, but I saw last time on TV 3 days ago, but I don't really remember so much of all the scenes that I saw as a 9 years old boy. So, I'll tell you more. So where was he? Yeah, I was eating pizza and I was drinking. So, yeah, what I think about this movie, it is my favorite movie, my favorite James Bond movie. You know, people can argue or say what they want. For me, 30 years right now, I'm 30 years old. For me, it's still the best James Bond movie of the 2000 era. Of course, everybody talks about Daniel Craig. He's a great actor. He's not a James Bond look like. Of course, he did a great job as an actor. I really respect him. He did his great job as to play James Bond and know the character, but he doesn't have the look. My best friend even said it to me. My other friend who I was today also, you know, where I was in his house, also said the same. Daniel Craig is not a James Bond type. But he did his job very well, so that's a great thing. But Pierce Brosnan, he is my favorite James Bond actor of all time, next to Roger Moore and Sean Connery. So, yeah, what I think about James Bond movie, you know, it is great. Of course, it is a long franchise since 1962. I understand that many people, of course, liked his GoldenEye movie, which is, of course, the best the best movie of Pierce. But, you know, Brosnan did such a great job to bring that character alive in a funny, short, charismatic, romantic way. I mean, so too, you know, he brought that humor and the action together, and that's a great thing. And Die Another Day, the story is even so amazing about Bond traveling to North Korea. I remember I saw these North Korean soldiers. They look amazing, their outfits. Rick Yan, who played Zhao, did a great job as playing the North Korean bad guy. I don't know the other actors. Toby Stevens, never heard about him. He played Graves. Forgot his first name again. And he did also a great job, as playing as the villain. He did a great job to perform that acting of skills of him to play the bad guy. There was the son of General Moon, played by Kenneth Tsang. I never heard about this actor, but he died some years after. But and also he had also a Russian actor who I didn't know, Mikhail Garovoy, who I know from the movie Hunter Killer. Lawrence Makawari, he's an actor who is also a stunt actor who played in The Lord of the Rings, Lurtz. I recognize, of course, I was a little child. I didn't know who they were. I only know that guy, Pierce Brosnan. Of course, I didn't know who these guys were. I know, so my English in the time also wasn't, of course, big. It was really bad. It wasn't good as I speak it right now. So, this movie also helped me to to hear how they were speaking English and to learn the English language as well. So, for me, what they did, this movie scenes with this chase, with these hovercrafts, and of course, Bond has been captured, which I don't really remember. He also looks like William Wallace with a beard and the long hair. His boss, M. I don't really remember much of the scenes. I remember the scene where he was, of course, in Cuba, where he was confronting Zhao and was choking his, how you saying that, oxygen sac. I remember when he was at Cuba, and of course, the beautiful, sexy Halle Berry, which I didn't really understand why she had short hair, because she had long hair. I still don't understand this day. Why the fuck did she have short hair? I didn't like that. But when I saw it as a 9-year-old child, I also said to my friend, I looked at her, I was thinking, only this. The only sound. So, she did also a great job, to perform herself as Jinx, Gina Tia Johnson. Her role as playing as a NSA agent was fantastic. Halle Berry knows how to, of course, to act in a movie. And he also had this blonde, sexy babe, Rosamund Pike. Well, I know she played in Johnny English. As I said, I only know their names later in the other movies. And, yeah. They did a great job. Also, I didn't know Madonna also played in the movie. Say beautiful, sexy Madonna, as she was in the time. Folk. La Isla Bonita, and Holidays. I'm sorry. This is a great song. So he also made the song for the movie. Die Another Day. Also a great song. So, what I can tell you, when I saw behind the scenes, Lita Mahori did a fantastic job to bring that movie alive. The special effects, the production, how they made those car scene chases. It was such an incredible and long, difficult job. Of course, the CGI scene, which everybody also talked about, and of course, at Google with the James Bond fans, I understand that scene was fake. It wasn't bad, well, of course, bad, but for me, it wasn't. My parents also enjoyed it. And, if we're looking at the many CGI, of course, in this time, it's so bad. It's too much, and it's so bad that you don't want to even look because it's so fucking fake. It looks like AI or something. It's so fucking fake. So that's why I don't like it. And I like that time, too. Lita Mori, he had made me sorry. He didn't like, of course, what he read on Google. Google saying that James Bond fans were really criticized about this movie. But they really liked the movie, but only so much gadgets and, of course, many stunts, action. It's a fucking amazing action package for me. So I really like. Of course, he made the scene, but I understand maybe he had sorry and yeah, it didn't feel so good when he made it, but he did it. He did it. Of course, the scene doesn't really look. It doesn't look bad. It maybe looks fake, but for me, it is great. As a 9-year-old child, you're not going in discussion with yourself. Oh, is this fake or is this real? You're just watching. Whoa, amazing! Whoa, fucking this awesome! I like this stunt. I like this explosion. I like this fight scene. We just as children we don't watch that all. And gonna yeah look and watching and gonna convince what is better, this better or this especially we don't do the we of course the children at that age don't do that. So you know Die Another Day was a great movie. It was a fantastic movie. I call it fantastic. Bond fighting with the North Korean soldiers. He then's been betrayed. He then goes to the Iceland, the ice hotel, which I still remember the day was one of the greatest scenes ever. But did you know that they made so much of that ice? Of course, the ice on the road, which they wanted to let the car sliding. So, and of course, they wanted sure that the Pierce and the rest of the crew won't be hurt. Did you know that the production crew of Lee Tomori, of A. Broccoli, who also wrote the other James Bond movies, they spent so much fucking time to bring all those ice, of course, everything, of course, stabilized, and of course, make sure that the ice won't break. It was a great job. And indeed, they showed behind the scenes how they did it. And did you also know the scenes with the North Korean in the beginning of the that hovercraft chase was filmed in England? So now you know. It's a great movie. I have nothing against it. It's my childhood movie. I can't arguing with that. It's a great movie. Of course, GoldenEye maybe was the best of him. But my opinion is, Die Another Day is one of his best movies, and of course, fantastic. I like the outfits, of course. The acting of the actors is so fantastic. How I should play the role, of course. I can play James Bond. Just give me a script and I can do it. Only if it is a good script, because I can play it on the British accent. So yeah, what I can say more about this movie, that's all I can say. They did a fantastic job to bring the movie alive. Maybe the CGI scene. I'm sorry with the serve when Pierce Brosnan was serving at the goals when the old building was going to explode. I understand, about the satellite Icarus that he's going to melt down the Earth. It looks great. My friend today, he wasn't such agree with that scene, but I said, listen to me, Chris. It's better to have that than nothing. You need a super weapon of the enemy in each of these movies to make sure that you can see what they're truly are planning. Like in James Bond, the man with the golden gun, Scaramanga. The actor Christopher Lee of The Lord of the Rings. Himself also used that weapon or something like that. And I must say, he did a great job at all. So yeah, what can I say? Die Another Day is a great, great movie. Oh, I thought this Die Another Day. What the fuck? Sorry. So, yeah, that's it, my folks. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about Die Another Day. If you didn't saw the movie, go find out yourself. I'll send you a link. So, yeah. I'm gonna say, that's it, my folks. Hope you like this podcast. Also want to tell you, Daniel Craig, he was a great movie. He's a great actor. His best movie, I think, is maybe Casino Royale. No Time to Die wasn't bad. It was great. But his death was a fatal mistake. But I'll talk later in another podcast. Quantum of Solace, Spectre, they're all great fucking James movie films. They're just so amazing, mate. So yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. But Daniel Craig is not the type James Bond. They should have let Pierce Brosnan to do more movies. But yeah, they wanted a young actor because Pierce Brosnan was growing older. So now you know. So that's it, my folks. I'm gonna end this podcast. Hope you like it all. Have a nice evening, and I'll see you soon to the next one. Maybe of Pirates of the Caribbean or another movie. See ya.